Hello, Matt with Trimec. In our carving knife project, the part design is done and the prototypes have been printed. Now we're going to take a look at Plastic Injection Engineer on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform to see whether or not a mold will fill before we start designing tooling. Okay, I'm going to log into the 3DEXPERIENCE platform and let's go into the tasks and let Tracy know that we're going to start working on our simulation project. So we'll drag that to in work. Now let's go see what's been done on the projects to date. I can drag and drop the top level assembly from our project folder into our viewer, and I can see everything that Wayne and Sarah have done, and also you can see the mesh that Suman's created in our FEA. Now we're going to work on the handle itself, and I don't want to modify the work that Sarah and Wayne have done, so I'm going to create a new branch specifically for our plastic study. This will copy this revision over to its own branch and let me revise that as I need and make changes as I need without affecting the original design, but it will always keep a link to where this design came from. As you can see, now we have a branch linked to our original design. Let me drag and drop that into the project folder so I can keep track of it, and then we'll go ahead and launch Solidworks. We can simply launch Solidworks from the compass inside of the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. Now with Solidworks open, you can see we have access to the handle design, and we can see everything that's been done so far, and I can make any changes that I want. For example, in this design there are two solid bodies, but I only need to analyze one of them. So let's go ahead and remove one of those solid bodies using the delete body command. This will give me the half of the part that I need to work on. I can make any other changes that I need to make. For example, if I wanted to add some small radii in the corner of these bosses, I can go ahead and do that. Again, any changes that I make here aren't affecting the original part because I made my own branch strictly for my plastic analysis. Okay, now that that's done, let's go ahead and save this back to the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. You can see it keeps track of the changes that I've made, and I can simply right-click and save to push this back up to the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. Now we see a mistake. I forgot to reserve the part, and it's giving me a warning, but I can simply click the reserve button to grab any files that I modified. And now I want to make sure I go ahead and convert this geometry so that it can be used in the FEA tool. Now let's go ahead and search for my plastic part tool, and let's go ahead and launch that. Simply search for it in the compass and click on the icon. Let's search for the part that I created. Wildcards will allow me to search all the data. And let's go ahead and open that, and that'll open that right into my plastic part study. We have a feature manager on the left-hand side that keeps track of everything that we're creating in the analysis project. And on the right, we have an assistant, or a wizard, to guide us through everything we need to do to set up this analysis. Let's go ahead and rename this to a unique name we'll be able to easily find in our search. And then we'll get started on our analysis. First step is to assign a material. You can see when I select material in the wizard, it brings up my material palette. We can go ahead and click on that and scroll through to find a material. There are a number of plastic materials included with Plastic Injection Engineer. We're going to find an ABS, and I'll just use generic ABS, but you can see it's divided by manufacturer and there's a lot of materials in the database. If I select on the material, I can get the simulation properties so I can see what this material behaves like. Simple right-click and apply to assign this to our part. Once that's done, we'll set our process settings. I'm going to go ahead and just accept the defaults and move on to an injection location. You can see it's really easy to move through the wizard and set up all the things that we need to do to make sure that this part will fill. Once our injection location is assigned, we're ready to start the analysis. We can simply select Simulate, and that will mesh and run the part. You can see the solver window comes up, so we can monitor the progress of the solver. We can see any errors in case we'd made any mistakes in setup. And there's also some plots that we can go and look to see how the analysis is progressing. The solver window also gives us the option to track things like flow rate and pressures with respect to injection time. Now that the solver is completed, we can take a look at our results. We can see things like fill time, how easy it is to fill the part, and we can also track things like air vents, where I'm going to need to add vents in my mold, and also sink marks. And as we can see on the back side here where we have the standoffs, obviously we're going to get some sink marks, but those should be okay for manufacture. So we're going to go ahead and save the data and then switch back over to our web browser. I'm going to go ahead and add the data to my bookmark so everybody can find it. And one of the benefits of using the FAA tools on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is that our results can be viewed in the player. Now my results are in the bookmark where anybody in the project can access them. I simply drag and drop into 3D Play to see what the results are, and I can quickly and easily share them with anybody else on the design team. I'm going to simply post these back to our project board and give everybody access to what's happened from the fill study. The nice thing about our project board being CAD aware is that I can publish these as a 3D model, so anybody with a web browser can spin them around right from the post. Simply tag Wayne so he knows that the fill study's done and he can get started on the mold design. So that shows how I can quickly and easily create a plastic study on this carving knife handle using the 3DEXPERIENCE platform.